Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Teen Wolf Season 3, Episode 11, I think we're already up to, which is crazy. 2 more episodes after this, and the whole Season 3A is done, and then we won't have new Teen Wolf episodes until January. But this episode is called Alpha Pack, and not Pact. Like, hey, we're making an agreement thing. But yeah, so this episode was really good. And there's a lot of stuff going on here with every character. So if you have a favorite character, well, unless the alphas are kind of a little less here in this episode, but a lot of our supporting characters and our main characters were a main focus of this episode, which I really loved. They shared the screen time for everybody really perfectly. So I think every character that you like definitely had some screen time here, and important screen time, definitely not filler screen time. But yeah, in this episode we get to see a little less of the alphas, but we get to see, of course, all the parents are kidnapped from Jennifer, because she has to finish her whole little ceremony thing that way, and her sacrifices that way. The tree, the big tree we've been seeing throughout this whole season, is full power, and that's actually a beacon for all supernatural creatures to come to, which is going to be crazy. And I'm sure that's where we're leading up to for that ending, and learning more about different supernatural creatures, which is going to be a crazy ending for this season. But the only way that Scott and everybody could save their parents is to die themselves. And now, of course, the veterinarian has a special way for them to die, but this does leave a darkness around their heart. Now, the people that go under are Allison, Stiles, and Scott, making them have an even closer bond with each other, symbolically, which I thought was great, a pact. And the people that put them under are the people that have the most connection to them. So Stiles and Lydia, of course, we see that connection in this episode because they finally kiss, which I'll get to more as the review goes on. And Isaac and Allison, we've been seeing some chemistry there, and which I actually really like. I do. Even though I am a Scott and Allison fan, I kind of like exploring that love triangle with Isaac and Allison. I'm obviously showing that strong pact here as the person to put Allison under. And then, of course, Scott and the veterinarian, because veterinarian is pretty much like his mentor. So they go under, and that is like to be continued. That is the ending. And will they survive? Who knows? And we get to see Derek and Cora. Cora, of course, is still dying. And Derek actually has a way to save her, and he has to take away his alpha powers to actually save her. And that's another thing we don't know what happens. That's to be continued thing. We don't know if this actually saves her or not. And then we also get Lydia and Stiles kissing, which is crazy. And because Stiles gets a panic attack, he can't really control it. You know, actually giving us more of a grounded show, because this is like something not supernatural is happening. Something that Stiles is going through a panic attack because of everything that's going on around him. And Lydia calms him down, and then we get to see that chemistry, which I thought was perfect. And also we get to learn that Lydia has something going on with her still. You know, of course she's the Banshee, but there's something else that's going there, you know. She knew about the tree thing. I don't know if Banshees would know about the tree and build, you know, drawing a tree all this time to find dead people. Maybe, I guess that's part of the Banshee power. I'm sure we're going to explore that more as the season goes on, and maybe 3B goes on. Because there's, of course, a lot of action here that we'll probably have to learn more about the Banshee stuff later. But also, we get to see that Jennifer actually kidnapped her for a different reason. We don't know why. My guess is it has to be healer. I mean, I still think the pure blood has something to do with something. You know, I don't know if it just has to do with her being a Banshee or not. I really think she has some sort of healing power. Maybe that shows that why Stiles had stopped having a panic attack because of that. Maybe she knew that. I don't know. But I'm really excited to explore more of that also. But love the kiss. I thought it was perfect, and I like that they grounded it. It wasn't a crazy out of the blue type of kiss thing. They really grounded that scene a lot, and one of my favorites because I was really looking forward to that. But the whole Pact thing, of course, the ending of this episode was great. I was like, wow, what's going to happen? I think the story is becoming very suspenseful. You don't know what's going to happen next. And one thing I love about this show is that they're really developing these characters and showing the bond with these characters. Really, isn't that what a wolf pack is? It's bond of characters coming together. And I've said this in the past. I think Scott doesn't have really a wolf pack with other wolves. I think everybody, like even Isaac, Derek, and all them. But I think it's also Lydia, Stiles, Allison is part of his pack, and I think with this episode, it heightened how much of a bond these people have with each other, and I thought that was perfect. I love that type of story where we get to see character development or really a story driven by a character, and I think with this episode, it really showed how close these characters are and how much closer it really symbolically in the end of this, how much closer they're gonna get, and what they'll do to save another. Like Derek and his sister, he's like, I don't care about power, I just want to save Cora. I don't want to lose her again. So it just shows a lot of different character connections, and honestly, it was one of the best episodes of the season. I just enjoyed a lot of things, and again, I think they perfectly spread out every character to have something you really like with every character. I mean, I think the Alpha Pack was a little bit shoved to the side here. I think the villains were shoved to the side a little. I mean, we saw Jennifer and everything. Obviously, this has everything to do with Jennifer, but we didn't get to say, oh, you know, this is happening with the villain plan. But I don't think it needed it. It was just a great build up to these last 2 episodes, which I think they did perfectly. And I think Teen Wolf is great with symbolic type of episodes, especially with season 3. I think they're great with their symbolism, and I think they did a really good job here too. It makes me super excited for the next episode. I think they left it at a point where you're like, I want to know what happens next. I have enough to really go through this week and try to wait for the next Teen Wolf episode. I think, again, the season has to be the best Teen Wolf season. They're just doing a great job here. And then the Teen Wolf fan who did the cameo was hilarious here. I know she's been in other episodes before because she won the contest, and I think that's cool that they do that with their fans. I thought she was hilarious in this episode also. I think they really perfectly balanced hilarious with every other emotion you could have here. And I'm really excited to see more of Lydia and Stiles. I mean, will we ship Lydia and Stiles? I know I will, even though I know there's lots of Derek fans, but I think for the show right now, I think I would love to see Lydia and Stiles, and I love to at least see their friendship as a bond, and I want to see more of that. I really hope we get to see more of that before the season ends. But what do you guys think about this episode? Do you think it was perfect as I did? I really think this was a perfect episode, getting even the parents into it, even Scott's dad we got to see, which is crazy. Again, just a perfect episode, and I really hope they do this with the last 2 episodes also. Really impressed with this one. I think right next to finding out what Lydia is, this has to be one of my favorite episodes. It was really great. Definitely going to watch it again. Tell me in the comments below what you thought. What do you thought about all these crazy things that are going to happen? What do you think is going to happen next? Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and their end situations, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.